Welcome to this live therapeutic flow practice in which we'll be focusing on just creating some space and length in the back of the legs, in the hamstrings, the calves, the bottoms of the feet. All you'll need for the practice is just a strap, so you can have that and whatever you like to have for practice handy, and we'll go ahead and start. Have your strap handy and then come to lie down, and that's where we'll start. Good, so you can lie your torso back. And here, if it feels good, allow your legs to lie long. You always have the option to keep them bent. And bring a little bit of a side-to-side motion into your pelvis that just lengthens out your lower spine. And then let that rest. Let your legs feel relaxed. Shoulders melting down. Then a few breaths, just drop your attention into your breath. To just notice where it's moving. To be present to its pace. And then bring your attention into the sides of your rib cage and just draw your breath right into the sides of your rib cage. A few breaths. Allow your exhalation to feel long, just a little longer. Good, and then relax your breath. If you don't already have them, bend your knees, bring the soles of your feet to your mat. And then take your knees in towards your chest. And allow your knees to part so that your knees come a little bit wide. So you're in a spacious knees to chest here. And then begin to feel into your pelvis, that bowl of your pelvis, and see if you can draw your breath. Connect with the feeling that you draw your breath down into the pelvis. Let your shoulders be as relaxed as possible. The feet and toes relaxed. Good, then bring your knees back together slowly, and we'll take both knees rotating in one direction. And then reverse your direction. Come back into center, take a full breath. And then release your feet down to the mat. So knees bent, feet on the floor. And now go ahead and grab your strap. Whatever you're using as a strap. And we're going to loop it around the sole of the right foot and then extend the right leg. Allow for there to be a little bit of a bend in your elbows so your shoulders can rest down. And then here, just find a place with this length in the back of the leg where you just start to feel it. So no force this morning. Find that edge where you just start to feel, okay, a stretch is happening. Release your shoulders away from your ears. And use your breath to just be here a moment. To find this soft edge where you just come into a little bit of intensity of sensation. Good. And then keeping your leg extended, Imagine if you were drawing a tiny circle with the bottom of your foot. So using your strap to guide that. So there's just a little bit of movement here. And keep your breath flowing. That's it, exactly. And then reverse your direction. And just as you do this, noticing how the sensation changes as you move through that circle. Good, and then come back into center. Take a breath here. Good, and then release your strap from your foot. You can just let your strap lie across your body, and we'll come into a figure 4. So taking the right ankle to the left thigh. Bring some flexion to your right foot. If you'd like, you can stay right here, or you can bring your figure 4 in towards your abdomen, supporting behind the left thigh, lacing the hands through. And then take a little bit of a side-to-side movement, wherever you are, whether your foot is on the floor or you've got your figure 4 in. Let your breath be fluid. Good, pause in the center. If your legs are in towards your abdomen, go ahead and extend your left leg long. Use your breath, surround this with your breath. Good, and then bend into that knee. Release your figure 4, and we'll all meet with both feet planted. And here we're going to take a gentle reclined cat-cow. So your hips are going to stay rested on the floor. And as you inhale, just feel like your mid-spine arches a bit, almost like your mid-abdomen is lifting towards the ceiling. And then exhale, feel your mid-back press into the mat. So you'll just feel your pelvis tilting as you breathe. Just bringing some freedom and movement to the hips and pelvis. Good, and now relax that. Now we're going to loop the strap up around the bottom of the left foot. So take your strap. Again, soft bend in your elbows so that your shoulders can relax. And again, just explore the edge here. So as you begin to bring your foot towards your head, just find that place where you start to feel a stretch. And just be there with your breath. Soften your jaw. Soften across your forehead. And then begin those circles. So as if you were just drawing a small circle with the bottom of your foot guided by the strap. And reverse your direction. Good, pause in the center for a moment. Full breath, almost down into your pelvis. Good, and then release that. You can just let your strap lie across your body, figure 4. Crossing the left ankle over the right. Flexing your left foot, the top of the left foot flexes back towards the shin. And then stay here or take your figure 4 in towards your abdomen. With hands threading through and interlaced. And then take a little bit of a side-to-side motion in whatever variation you're in. You'll notice this allows you to come into a little bit of intensity and then soften out. Good, and then resting in the center, If you've got your figure 4 in towards your abdomen, extend your right leg long. Again, moving breath. Good, and then bend into the right knee. Release your figure 4. Both feet planted. Take your strap now just off to the side where you can have it handy later. And then come onto one side in a fetal position. And then we'll lift up through the arms, using the arms, and come into a tabletop position. You can always use something to pad under your knees here in your tabletop. But spread your fingers a little bit wide. Feel the finger pads really press down into the mat. And as you inhale, gaze forward, arching in your spine. Exhale, round and press down through your hands. So take that at your own pace. Getting this full spinal movement. And again, that movement and freedom in the pelvis. Good. And then come into a neutral spine. And then reach your right toes back here. So you're lengthening your right leg back, but your toes are going to be in contact with the mat. And then as you inhale, feel your hands press forward and that stretch your back legs so your pelvis might rise just gently. And then exhale and just release forward. So inhale, you draw back just a little bit so that there's slight stretch in that leg. Exhale out. Take that a few times. It's not the easiest to coordinate, so be patient with it. Good, and then release that knee to the mat. And we'll just take some pelvic circles. So circling your pelvis now in one direction. And then reverse your direction. Good, come back for child's pose, a few breaths. So take any variation of child's pose that feels good in your body. And then become aware again of that pelvic bowl of your pelvis and draw your breath deeply towards your pelvis. It's almost a soft sense that the whole pelvic bowl expands gently with your inhalation and relaxes with your exhalation. Then with your next inhalation, let's come back into a tabletop position. This time, extend your left toes back, extending the left leg back, toes in contact with the mat. And then find that as you inhale, just drawing back gently, hands pressing forward, just feeling a little bit of stretch in the leg. Exhale and just release forward. So take that with your breath, just a subtle movement. And then release your knee back to the mat. Tuck your toes under now. And as you inhale, draw your pelvis back towards child's pose, toes tucked under. And then exhale, come back into your tabletop. So take that with your breath. We're just getting a little bit of stretch in the bottoms of the feet. Finding length there. And then if it feels good, come to stay in your child's pose a few breaths. If it feels better to continue that movement, continue. Allowing your head to rest down on the mat or on your stacked hands. And always feel free to adjust if this is too intense. This may be too intense. A regular child's pose might be more appropriate. Good, and then one more time, come back into your tabletop position. Tuck your toes under, and we're going to come into downward facing dog. Remember, you always have the option to keep in your child's pose. If you're in your downward facing dog, really press your hands down and forward. Find length through your spine. And then start to pedal out your feet. If you're in a tabletop, maybe just taking cat-cow. Finding that length through your spine and through the back of your legs. Good. And now walk your hands back towards your feet. So we'll all meet in a forward fold at the back of the mat. Soft knees. Let your spine hang. You can always have support under your hands here in your forward fold. Inhale, half lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. And then inhale, half lift. Let's stay here, full breath. Exhale right here, hands to thighs for support. And then inhale, sweep your arms overhead, come to stand. Exhale your hands to your heart. Good. And now let's walk up to the head of the mat. Roll your shoulders onto your back. Feel your feet in contact with the mat. Just feel that, sense it. And then inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, come to stand. Press down through your feet. Exhale your hands to your heart. And now let's come back into a chair pose, taking a few breaths here. Guiding your pelvis back. Feel your chest gently lifted. Your toes light. Enjoy this little bit of strength and heat building in your body. Then with your inhale, sweep your arms overhead, come to stand. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift in your spine. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, come to stand. Exhale your hands to your heart. Good. We're going to step the right foot back now, coming into a lunge. If you need a little bit more balance support, you could come into warrior one with the back heel down. So your choice. Wherever you are, press out through your back heel. Find your front toes spacious. And as you press out through your back heel, feel that lift your whole and lengthen your whole spine. Just take a few steady, strong breaths here. Good. And then lengthen. Everyone come back into your warrior one if you're not already. Go ahead and spin your back heel down. And then lengthen into your front leg. So you might need to shorten your stance if you were in a real long stance. Bring your hands to your hips. Press your feet down into the mat, feeling your spine really tall. And then we'll hinge forward at the hips. So maybe your hands come to your thighs with your front knee soft. Maybe it comes to your thigh or to your calf. Or to any support. Find the space that feels appropriate and supported for you. Let your breath be smooth and flowing. And very gently begin to come up, using your hands for support. Take your hands to your heart. With soft knees, step forward. Again, feeling your feet here planted. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, long spine. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, come to stand, reaching up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Again, let's come back into chair pose, so guide your pelvis back. Feel your heart lifted up towards your hands in prayer pose. Soft in your toes. Fluid in your breath. Then inhale, sweep your arms overhead, come to stand, rising. Exhale your hands to your heart. Good. Now this time, step back with your left. So you can either come into a lunge with your heel lifted or warrior one with the back heel down, your choice. But press out through your back heel, feeling your spine lifted and tall. Front toes spacious. And just feel your breath steady here, your steady base, steady breath. Good, and then we'll all, if you don't already have it, go ahead and spin your back heel down, lengthen into your front leg. So you might need to change your stance so that that feels stable. Front knee is nice and long, pressing down through the front foot. Take your hands to your hips, and then just begin to hinge forward. And then take your hands wherever you need support. Whenever you start to feel that intensity in the back of the front leg, that's the place to be. Keep your front knee a little bit soft. Use your breath. Wherever intensity is present here, draw your breath there. Good, and then very slowly we'll begin to release out of this, using your hands to support and walk your spine up. Bring your hands to your heart. Soft knees, step forward. Good. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Be here a few breaths. Again, your knees may be soft so that your spine can hang a little bit more easily. Maybe you take a little bit of a pedaling out through your feet here, lengthening into one leg and then the other. And then plant your hands, and you have the choice to come back into downward facing dog or right into a tabletop. So you choose. And wherever you are, find a little bit of movement. Whatever you've chosen, maybe that's cat-cow or pedaling out your feet, just find some movement. Good, and then let's all meet in a tabletop position. And one more time, just tuck your toes under. And as you inhale, draw your pelvis back towards child's pose with your toes tucked under. And then exhale back up. So take this at your pace, take it at your own intensity. And if tucking your toes under isn't available to you, you can always just come in and out of a classic child's pose. And then we'll all come back into child's pose. So find the variation that best suits you. Any variation. And just take a moment to connect with your breath. To again place your attention in your pelvis and feel like you draw your breath there. Good, and now from here, we'll transition to lying on our backs. So go ahead and just gently transition at your pace. Good, as you lie back, have your strap handy again. Have it close and handy to where you can access it. And take your knees in towards your chest. Relaxing the shoulders. And we'll take just a little bit of core strength here. So as you inhale, bring your legs into a tabletop position. You can just gently rest your hands on your knees. And then exhale, bring your knees back in towards your chest. And just take that as a flow. Inhaling to tabletop. Exhale back in. Your pace. Good, then just draw your knees back in towards your chest. And release your feet to the mat. Go ahead and grab your strap again. And we're going to repeat the exercise that we did at the beginning. So go ahead and loop the strap around the bottom of your right foot. Finding a little bend in your elbows. And here, find your edge again. So come into a stretch that just feels like you're touching intensity. Like it's still easy to breathe. And you might even notice that that spot has moved a little bit, that it's shifted through the practice. And you can take those small circular movements, like the bottom of the foot drawing a circle, supported with the strap in your hands. And reverse. Good, let it come back into center. We're going to release the strap, just let it lie across your body. Come into a figure 4 again. Good, allow your arms to rest out away from your sides, and then allow your legs to fall over towards the left. So we'll come into a figure 4 twist. Feel especially your right shoulder heavy. Feeling your body begin to rest and release. And as you inhale, bring your legs back to center, uncross your figure 4. And we'll take the strap now around the bottom of the left foot. Good. And find that edge here where you just start to come into intensity. It feels like it meets that good beginning of a stretch without force. And notice how that might have shifted. There might be a little bit more spaciousness. And then take that small circle. And reverse. Good, and then gently release from the strap. Come into your figure 4. You can take the strap off to the side now. Arms rested out away from your sides. Allow your legs to fall to the right. Come into a twist on the other side. Feeling this anchor of your left shoulder just rest into the mat. Shoulder blades melting. Your neck relaxed. Now with your inhalation, bring your legs back into center. Exhale, uncross your figure four. And now we're going to come into our final relaxation. So you can allow your legs to rest long. Or keeping the knees bent, whatever feels most restful and easeful in your body. Find that posture and just settle there. Good. Bring a little bit of circular motion into your feet and ankle joints, so just circling both of your feet. And then reverse your direction. Good. Let go of that movement. Take a nice full inhalation through your nose. Sigh it out through your mouth. Do that a few more times. Let it bring a sense of release to your body. Relax your breath. Let your back body just feel like it sinks back into the mat. Enjoy the lightness of your front body. Feel the whole left side of your body together. And then the whole right side of your body. And now your whole body together. Feeling broad, spacious sense of your whole body together. Resting here. And I'll close with a chant, just a simple inward offering of well-being to all beings. Swastir bhavatu, sarvesham shanti bhavatu, sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. And now gently begin to just draw your attention back into your breath, to let it settle there. And to allow your breath to become gently fuller. Like your breath subtly awakens your body. Bring a little bit of wiggling to your fingers and to your toes. Maybe some movement to your wrists and to your ankles. And then any larger movements that feel good in your body, that support a little bit fuller awakening, energizing. And then come onto one side in a fetal position. And use your arms to support yourself into a seat. Good. Feel your seat grounded. Take your hands to your heart and soften your gaze. Take a full breath. And then bow your head in. Namaste.